An investigation into a mysterious set of symptoms that were said to affect US diplomats, spies, and other employees in US embassies and missions around the world has come to a conclusion. The US intelligence agencies have now concluded that the strange Havana Syndrome was not caused by an energy weapon or any foreign adversaries. They have used the words very unlikely while concluding whether a foreign adversary or energy weapon was the reason behind it. The unclassified version of the report was released on Wednesday by the House Intelligence Committee. This officially puts an end to the conspiracy theories that were being associated with this syndrome. Today in this video, we take a look at what exactly this Havana Syndrome is and how it created ripples in the US intelligence community. But before that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to In Depth. Havana Syndrome is a colloquial name given to a set of symptoms such as dizziness, hearing loss, headaches, vertigo, nausea, memory loss and possibly brain injuries that has mostly impacted US officials. Symptoms are said to vary in type and severity, but often are reported to include the sudden onset of severe headaches, difficulty concentrating, auditory disturbances and even memory loss. According to the victims, the symptoms were brought on by a piercing high-pitched sound as if they had been caught in an invisible beam of energy. It was first reported in late 2016 by the US State Department personnel stationed in the Cuban capital Havana, and hence the name Havana Syndrome. But soon, diplomats and other government workers stationed around the world began experiencing similar unexplained neurological symptoms. Over 1500 cases had been documented across 96 countries. Officially, such set of unexplained symptoms are referred by the USA as anomalous health incidents or the AHIs. Countries from which American officials have reported similar incidents include Colombia, Russia, China, Austria, Serbia and Uzbekistan. In India too, its first incident was reported in 2021. Cases ascribed to the Havana Syndrome have also been reported from within the United States, and very recently, at least 3 officials serving in the US consulate in Geneva were believed to have the syndrome, with at least one needing to be medevaced from Switzerland to the US for treatment. The most astonishing fact about the Havana Syndrome is that it is said to only affect the US officials, especially those who have affiliations with intelligence agencies. No officials from other countries have perhaps ever reported such array of mysterious symptoms except a few incidents of Canadian embassy staffs in Havana, and that is why the US officials feared that some foreign power is in play who is deliberately trying to target US intelligence officers and belittle US intelligence operations. So, after an investigation, the US National Academies found that the most plausible explanation was that the US officials were being attacked by directed pulsed radio frequency energy, which in other words mean microwave attacks. This technology dates back to the US-Soviet Cold War era when high-powered beams were designed to disable electronics. During the Cold War, beams of microwaves were aimed at the US Embassy building in Moscow from 1953 to 1976. But electronics or electronic communications were not disrupted during the 2016-17 Havana attacks, suggesting either that the power levels were lower than required or microwave directed energy weapons were not used at all. No concrete explanation was provided, and this accentuated the fear in the US intelligence community. These symptoms had become so widespread that in September 2022, the State Department announced that it had started approving payments for victims of the anomalous health incidents in accordance with the Havana Act, the unanimously passed bill that authorizes agencies to compensate personnel who incur brain injuries from hostilities while on assignment. But now, a recent report that reviewed Havana Syndrome by the US intelligence community has found it very unlikely that a foreign adversary or energy weapon is behind it. Of the 7 intelligence agencies that undertook this investigation, 5 have determined that available intelligence consistently points against the involvement of US adversaries in causing the reported incidents. Those 5 agencies deemed foreign adversary involvement very unlikely. One agency considered it unlikely and one declined to state a conclusion. This unclassified report also suggests that the initial medical studies that led experts to believe that the AHIs represented a novel medical syndrome or consistent pattern of injuries suffered from methodological limitations. 3 agencies have high confidence in this assessment, 3 have moderate confidence, and 1 has very low confidence. Although no evidence has been found to support a foreign adversary being behind any single case, the officials still acknowledge that it is conceivable that a handful of instances could be the cause of a bad actor trying to inflict harm on American personnel, and more research would be needed to rule out this possibility. Havana Syndrome has been one of the most astonishing puzzles of the modern world espionage, but with this new report, perhaps the controversies around it will cease, unless something very surprising is found out someday. This was all about the mysterious Havana syndrome. We hope you would like this new video. Thank you so much for watching.